So hey everyone, it's Jen here, and it's been 6 months of creating AI cold calling agents for real estate agents as well as for SMM businesses for literally any type of niche that you could imagine. And after bringing killer results for my clients with it, the most asked question I get is how does AI handle objections? Because anyone could create an AI that could follow a script, follow like a similar prompt, but an AI that actually handles the situation in a real life scenario, how to prompt it and how to make it so dynamic that it could handle the scariest objection possible on your cold call and get a way through from the no of the client to an yes. Traditional cold calling is time consuming and expensive and often demands several hours of training, hiring, managing human employees, which could be replaced by an AI in a second, where the AI could cold call thousands of people with a click rather than just having a team and making sure that they follow up with their deadlines. At this not only save you thousands of dollars in the first place, but actually increases your ability to earn more and close more deals by signing more contracts with more qualified appointments. Because if you're trying to place a human cold calling team and let the human do the first step of the process, which is actually getting qualified leads into your funnel, then you are leaving behind on the massive opportunity that's in front of you. Rather than doing this, you should instead put your team on the second step of the process, which is talking to qualified leads and getting them to sign contracts for your business, rather than having a team to do all of the, how to say, dirty work and the grunt work that they have to do to call so many qualified leads and get barely any results. So here's what we're going to cover today. First of all, writing the prompts and actually seeing how to create those objection handler that make sure that the AI does not go out of the line and start messing around in the actual campaign, to have absolute certainty that it's not going to fuck up in the actual live campaigns. Second, we'll do a live cold call where I'm going to be making this AI call me, and I'm going to throw the scariest objections possible on my end to really test it. And we are not going to make easy on it, because I see a lot of people in a space who are just barely even testing their cold calling agents as they're supposed to be, because the actual cold call is going to be rough. You're going to be getting a lot of objections. You're going to be, the process is going to make excuses, calling 15 minutes later and all that stuff. If the AI is not able to respond to that very quickly and very effectively, then we are going to end up losing the deal, if let's say losing the lead, even if the prospect might be interested or a good fit for a program. And after the actual live cold call, we're going to be rating the AI on the basis of speed, creativity, and the effectiveness of the response that gave me back. Also, we're going to see how this actually was able to happen and how this was actually possible, how to train, what are the settings in the software that I use you need to have to make sure that your AI is up to the mark. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are into our actual prompt. Now I have just named this agent Walter Williams with Hazal name. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna skip these other instructions, and these are basically how to skip voicemails and how to go around voicemails, instruction for that basically, which is really important if you are thinking about cold calling. I just want to give you a heads up of that. And here's how I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how you need to add in those pivotal lines, which basically determines the decision of the AI of what to speak and where to speak that. So let's start with this section. Script starts. Now, hey there, this is Walter Williams speaking from Future Capital Dealers. Am I reaching out to Nate? And this is just basically my opener. And once they say yes, say this self-depreciating lines. Yes, so now I'm not even sure we should have in this conversation, but I got some news for a property in city at address. You stolen that. Now, if you see, I use and as between the response, because it says exactly that, which is really important to make it sound natural and conversational. And now here's what I want you to pay attention to. If they say no, I don't own a property here, we got a very first objection, which is we have an idiot is wrong. Now, whenever they say don't own a property, say it's fine exactly as it is. Well, I believe that you own a property at like this place, or if I'm mistaken, are there any chances of you knowing somebody who owns a property? Well, it might be selling, might be looking to sell around. Like I like just call him to check out. I wanted to check out. If you don't own property, you don't own property, something like that. And then if they do agree, then skip this line, of course. Say this, awesome man, so I actually represent community. That's fine. We have 4 properties in this address. May have something too. Is this something that you want to have a conversation about? And if they agree, say move forward. And if they do not, tell them it would just take 30 seconds. Again, pivotal line, which is important. If they say yes to this, if they say no to this. Now these are mainly the the pivotal lines that we should use in our approach. Then after they agree to your previous question, say slide exactly, awesome name. So are you even open to the idea of selling property? The right buyer with the right price comes along. Now again, if they say no to the second, say, I'm sure you won't be disappointed if you stay with me for a few more seconds. Can I ask you a couple of questions, assuming if you do have a second thought of selling your property in the near future? Now, again, having those lines, which is really, really important in this place, because the AI doesn't have to, go fetch the knowledge base or go fetch the objection handler for these lines, because these kind of responses have to be fast. You have to put them in a bracket, in a line, like in a small prompt, just below the line, which is going to be the affirmative line, which is basically, if they say yes, do this. If they say no, do this. And have that line just below the one that is going to be the one for yes, basically. And if you do not, then what the other place that you could have for those lines is in your objection handler, which is here down below. And if you're thinking around how to get this prompt for absolutely free, I'm gonna link down the this website where I have uploaded this there's a Notion doc. Basically, I have uploaded this website. You can go ahead and access this and use it for your agency as well. Now these are the basic objections. Who are you? Who am I talking to? What is your name? Where are you? And all of these kind of basic questions. I'm not interested. I don't have a property for sale. I'm not looking to sell right now. I'm already working with someone else. All these kind of questions. Now you should have a detailed objection as well as their answers. Just right below down your scripts, guidelines, instructions that you brought. Now we how do I know sell my property? Now we have a proven track record of that, whatever we want to say. And if they disagree, again, having a letting the AI know what to do when you fail, because it is a cold call. You cannot expect 100 people to pick up and 100 people to book the calls. There are objections, and your AI has to deal with them if you're trying to make a sales-based agent. I'm not even talking about AI for calling here. Even if you're making just an appointment setter, but you're calling leads that have came down from a Facebook ad campaign, you still need to have that have all of this objection handling thing there as well, because in sales, objections are the key. They are going to be there, and your AI has to make sure that it answers them. So the point of all of this explanation before giving the actual call is for you to understand how important are these no-oriented lines, which basically makes sure AI is fail-proof. It's never gonna be in a situation where it doesn't know where to go from now. Even if the prospect not interested at the end of the call, it's it matters on your offer script and all that stuff. But from the AI and from the technical side point of view, it's not going to fuck up. Even let's say for example the user asked a question, and if the AI did give the right answer to it, you could have potentially won that lead, but you just didn't, because you didn't put that in the standard. That's what I'm talking about. You have to make those prompts insanely detailed. This is around a a 9-page document if you put that into Google Doc. So that's how the detail it has to be. And just to give you a heads up, I'm using Bland AI for this. People use WAPI, and prompts this does not go well in WAPI AI. These are specifically built for Bland, the software that I use primarily 99% of the time for cold calling. So yes, you do have to take care of the software that you use. Now, once we have this all figured out, let's jump on to actually giving me a call with this AI and see how it goes. So here's how my cold calling interface usually looks like. I just go ahead on to, like send a new batch in Blind AI, and, we have uploaded the call data, which is basically like a CSV containing the name, phone number, city, address. Now, of course, you could have a lot of personalization here. Just, like this is an example that worked for me. Language English, voice, I'm choosing Walter for this one, which is probably like an old man's voice for cold calling. And like most of you want to choose female voices for cold calling, which is like works really well, by the way. Just make sure that you do not use bland curated voices, use cloned voices from the like anywhere from YouTube, internet, whatever. Even have a recording of your own, but make sure that you clone voices. I'm just using Walter for for an example in this video. So yeah, I think that's pretty we're good to go. The prompt is here. So it will allow you enhanced voice Walter. The temperature is set to 0.5, not 1. We don't need to trade or we just creative with the responses, and be more designated to how I want it to sound like. Interruption threshold 110 ms works for me. I mentioned that in my earlier videos. 110 ms works for me. You choose whatever works for you. Test it out yourself. But from my opinion, 110 ms for cold calls and give us a string end user and works fine. Saying it's from experience. So yeah, let's show this and actually give us a call.
Hey there.
Hello.
This is Walter Williams speaking from Future Capital Dealers. Am I reaching out to Arrow?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Arrow, I'm not even sure we should have this conversation, but I actually got some news for your property in California at 123 Lane. You still own that one, right?
Still on that one.
Awesome, Arrow. So I actually represent a community that's buying 4 properties in California, and I think I may have something for you too. Is it something you even want to have a conversation about?
Sure, what's up?
Awesome, Arrow. So are you even open to the idea of selling your property if the right buyer with the right price comes along?
No, I'm not interested at the moment.
Well, Arrow, I'm sure you won't be disappointed if you stay with me for 15 more seconds. Can I ask you a couple of questions, assuming if you do have a second thought of selling your property in the near future?
Yeah, sure.
So, Arrow, what's your motivation like why you're looking to sell your property?
Maybe because I'm looking to downsize and shift to another property.
Awesome. Can you tell me a bit more about the condition of the property? Like how old is the furniture, beds, and baths?
Well, it's pretty old, to be honest. That's the reason why I'm looking to downsize.
Awesome. So when are you thinking of selling this property?
Not anytime soon, but maybe in around 6 months.
Love that you are sharing this with me. Can you give me a rough idea of how much are you looking to sell the property for?
I'm not sure about that, but nothing less than 800,000.
Awesome, Arrow. So I have a local expert in California named Kent. Super nice guy and has over 2 decades of experience in the market. I'll connect you with him tomorrow, and you both can set up a time to talk and take this forward. Does that work?
I'm not sure about that.
So, Arrow, you're sure you don't want to talk to Kent regarding our special offerings for your property?
Maybe yes.
Great. So, the next steps would be to schedule a quick 10-minute video call with our expert Kent to see if it even makes sense at all. He has worked with 25-plus realtors around the areas of California, Texas, Florida, and much more. So how about 2 p.m. tomorrow? Does that work?
Sure. Okay.
Awesome. So the meeting will be a video call over Google Meet with Kent Brown, and it is possible that he tries to connect with you manually for confirmation, so please cooperate with him and he'll handle the rest. In case of the meeting link and any further updates, I'll need one of your most active emails. So could you please slowly spell out your email on which you'd like to receive the updates?
Well, it's So that was one smooth call. And in terms of the response and the creativity, I rate it at least 9 out of 10 for the response side on being natural and taking the pause and like all the stuff. In terms of creativity, I rate it around 8 out of 10 because like we adjusted the response, we just established 2.5, which makes it less creative and more going along with our scripts and how we want it to. So for you people that maybe at an 10 of creativity, in terms of speed, I think it was well on point. It around the like a 9 out of 10. And in terms of how natural and conversational it was, I think it's a 10 out of 10 because it said the ums, ahs, and the pauses were absolutely perfect. And like just like how I would like train in AI for an actually a cold calling campaign. So yeah, I think this was around let's say a decent overall 9 out of 10 cold call, and like it was decent. And that's what I was talking about at the starting of this video, how you can train AI agents to be that smooth and handle every single objection that we want it to. Like I didn't asking questions about from objection handler. I just like went around with the flow, and I just said that like I want to sell my property right now. So it just said me, oh, okay, maybe like maybe in the future or something like that. Because if you do want me to make a video on how to create AI voice agents from scratch and do more objection handling, as well as like more resources about objection handling, just hit me up. I'll get that video rolling as soon as possible. It could be an hour-long video where I go from the absolute scratch to an advanced AI code caller that's ready to send. Like we're not about this like just small demos like this, but actually a code caller that I would create for a client to go ahead and get appointments. So if you want me to create a video that's an hour long, shoot me down in the comments and I'll get that one set up. So that was so much for today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next. Peace out. Bye bye.